All right, we are going to do our last math lesson for the year, um, and our last video lesson for the year today, too. Um, it is Thursday, May 14th, and you should be finishing up a bunch of things if you have things to do. A lot of you don't have much to finish up because you've been working super well all the way along. Tomorrow will be our last class Zoom for the year on May 15th, Friday afternoon, and then your drop off time in the evening is 4 to 6 for you, the last time to drop off finished work, and your little house book if you still have it. So, all of that I'll tell mom and dad in an email that's going out today. We're not going to do any class Zooms next week. So, because we have a lot to do with picking up report cards and end of the year things and teacher parades and all kinds of stuff. So, we're going to be finished this week. So, for the last math lesson, you need this paper. This is the reflections, rotations, and translations paper. Okay, and then you're going to find this. Now, I think, if I remember correctly when I copied it, I think you have a half a sheet. You only have this side. I don't think you have both sides. If you have both sides, that's okay. You only need half of it. So I'm going to cut mine in half real quick. So this is what I believe you have. So we're going to work together to review what you've learned about these three things. So you should have watched the video about reflections, rotations, and translations. And at the top, we're going to put our definitions, and then we're going to put examples that we find on the picture page, cut out and glue them, and then at the end, you're going to draw some of your own at the bottom. So the first one here is reflections. And as you learned in the video, a reflection is a mirror image. So you take it and you flip it. So flip is the easy word to help you remember reflection. So our definition is to flip an image or make a mirror image. And mirror will also help you remember that that's what it looks like. Whoops, lost my glue stick. Okay, so let's write that down. To flip an image or make a mirror image. All right, if you need to pause the video, go ahead. I'm going to move on. So rotations means to turn an image using an axis point. So you start here and you flip and you turn it in a circle. So to turn an image in a circle using an axis point. To turn an image in a circle using an axis point. And a rotation can appear anywhere from moved 5 degrees up to 360 degrees, all the way around in a circle. And we'll look for some examples of that in a minute. All right, and then translation was a strange one. So the easy word for reflection is flip. The easy word for rotation is turn. And the easy word for translation is slide. So a translation is where I have an image here, and I take the image and I slide it up here, or I slide it down here, or I slide it over this way or up. So I'm sliding it so I have a double image. It's not the mirror opposite, it's the same one, it's just been slid over into a new area. So translation is to slide an image next to the original image. And like I said, that can be up, down, side to side, or diagonally. I'm not going to write all of those down. So remember, and you can go back, we're going to go and I'm going to circle the words that are the most important. Flip, turn, slide. Flip, turn, slide. All right, so now you're going to take out our pictures and we're going to look at them. And each one is going to show one of those three, and we have to decide what they did with the image. Did they create a mirror image? Did they slide it? Or did they turn it? So sometimes the mirror and the flip and the slide can be really difficult. I think finding rotations are probably the easiest ones to start with. So we're looking, everybody look at your sheet and look for one that you can tell that they used a center point and they moved it around in the circle. So the first one that I see where they did that is this circle arrow thing. You can tell that if this is the first one, then their axis point is here and they rotated it so it's here. So I'm going to cut out those two boxes. And cut them apart. And I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to glue. Oh, I did not want to come off. I'm going to glue them under where it says rotations. So I'm going to glue one there and one here. Okay, so you can see how I turned them. I didn't glue them very well. Let me glue it this way. Okay, so you can see how that one was moved around. So that is an example of a rotation. All right, another example of a rotation on here is the license plate. And you're probably thinking, oh, wait a minute. No, that's a mirror image. They had this and they just flipped it over. But if you'll notice, if you flip it over, would the T be over here? No, the T would be directly underneath it and it would look backwards. So this isn't a mirror image. This is actually a rotation. So they have your axis here and they've turned it all the way around 180 degrees. So this is also a rotation. So I'm going to cut out those two. Oops, going to cut them apart. And glue them in the next box. Alright, so we have two there. So that one's been rotated. And then it's very obvious that the bottom of that second one, where the books are, that those books have been rotated. That's very simple to see, that they turned it from here to here. So that's another rotation. So let's go ahead and cut those. Now you may be saying, well, Mrs. Gary, all of them could be rotations, couldn't they? Now we're going to see in a minute that they aren't. And you have to be really careful with the pictures after you cut them out to show that so you don't get confused. Which is why, if we were doing it in the classroom, I would not let you... Ooh. Did that stop the video? No. Oh, good. Sometimes when I hit the keyboard, it stops my video. That I don't let you cut them all out because then it's hard to see the difference. So we have a rotation, rotated around this way, rotated around here, and rotated around there. All right, so reflections are mirror image. To see a reflection, what you have to see is a opposite. It has to look the exact opposite. So if it's like this, It looks like this in the pictures. So if you look at the thumbs, I got thumbs up, thumbs down, and I have bird up, bird down. And both of those are examples of flips or reflections. Over here, I have the pail. So we're going to cut those out. The pail, the thumbs, and the birds. And we're going to glue those where it says reflections. And then we're going to talk about the translations because those can be kind of difficult and confusing. Alright, so I'm going to cut out my thumbs. And when I glue them down, I want to make sure that they look like mirror images. So if I glue my thumb down this way, it's not going to look exactly like a mirror image because they have it side by side, but it is okay to do a reflection up and down, and that's the way the thumbs go. So don't worry about that they look so different. I'm actually going to turn it so it looks like it's opposite like that. I'm going to put it that way so it looks like a reflection. It was really an up and down one, but I'm going to make it look like that so it's easier for you guys to see. Then I'm going to cut out the two birds. And I'm going to glue, whoop, there it goes. We're going to glue one down, and I'm going to glue it the right way up, the way it would normally look. Okay, so I'm going to glue it like that. Then I'm going to take the other one, and I'm going to glue it upside down. No, never mind. I'm going to move that one. I don't like the way that looks. That looks like a translation. I'm going to put that one over here. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. Now, where is my papers? I'm losing my papers. The other one we said was the bucket. And we're going to cut that one out. I'm going to change my mind on you guys. Alright, and we're going to glue the first bucket down the right way. And then we're going to glue the other bucket down the right way. And they will look like mirror images. So see how they look like mirror images. Flip, 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 flip. The brush is here, the brush is over here. That's a mirror image. Alright, so the last one we're going to do for this one is the tree. No, it's not. I'm going to do this one. Okay, and cut out my... Okay, I'll glue this one down. Sorry, I was just cutting everything out there. And then this is the mirror image. Kind of looks like a translation now, but it's still a mirror image. Alright, so I put the phone there. You can tell that it's been flipped. Kind of looks like a slide, but it's supposed to be a flip. And then my last ones are translations, and that's the tree. So when we glue the tree down like with the bird, it looks like it's the same thing. Like I just slid it over to the side. slid it over to the side, and then the pencil, we're going to do that the same way. All right. Get that done. There we go. Put the lid back on my glue stick. And there's our final product. Flip, flip, flip. Turn, 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 slide, slide, slide. All right, so the last thing that you need to do is to draw your own picture. I would suggest that you pick some fairly simple pictures. You cannot use these. You have to come up with your own. And you need to show one where you flipped it, one where you drew it and then rotated it and drew it in a different position on the same axis, and one where you slid it. So, you know, the same picture in each box, even though maybe you wanted to have one here and the next one you slid up there. You can do it that way too. And then take a picture of your finished work and send it to me on Seesaw. All right, that's it for math.